John Williams is proud to announce that Tim's Crow is now standing at stud. Tim's Crow was spotted as a raw 15-month-old pup at a schooling track in Youghal, County Cork, by Michael White, one of Ireland's leading greyhound judges. Michael contacted John Williams, who immediately snapped up the dog and placed him with Peter Rich at Romford. Peter introduced the dog in an A6 at Romford, and amazingly he was beaten. However, he quickly made amends, and the dog raced through the grades to A1. His first major achievement came at his home track in the Coral Golden Sprint.
Race away here, all lock-up fine ice, walked out of the boxes. Tim's Crow has flown out, and we could be looking at the Golden Sprint winner. Tim's Crow by 6 lengths down the bag. Parcel 4 second and lock-up fine ice in third. But Dave Ball and John Williams, Tim Crow is well clear at the paddock turn. He's sprinted under the boxes, and he's going to run the rocket. Tim's Crow wins the Golden Sprint final in great style.
£6,000 to connections and a track record sectional time of 3:54 to Tim's Crow. Well, next stop, more records were to fall. Beware this mighty black. And here's Tim's Crow in trap 5 at Hove, on his way to a 16.05 clocking for the 285-metre sprint course. His rival's getting used to this sight of Tim's Crow. Well, next stop, Peterborough, where he went unbeaten through the £10,000 Peterborough Derby on his way to a 13-race winning sequence. Here we can see Tim's Crow in the semi-final. Watch for him here in trap 5. Not braking as best as he could, but showing tremendous trademark pace to the first bend, scooting round and pulling 3 or 4 lengths clear down the back straight. And here he is, Tim's Crow, extending his advantage all the way to the line, showing full well that he can stay a 4-bend trip at top pace. Well, no surprise to see him installed as the odds-on favourite for the valuable decider. And even though the track was sloppy on final night, watch for him here in trap 4. A level break, but look at that early pace again. Clear at the first bend, result never in doubt. After that sensational victory in the Peterborough Derby final, Tim's Crow then went on to break one of the longest standing track records in England. That's a sprint trip at Milton Keynes that had stood for 26 years until Tim's Crow ran there. Well, next up, perhaps one of his best sprint performances, this one at Nottingham. Odds-on favourite again, another track record, but look at the field he beat. Set 'em Up Joe in trap 2 was scorching around the tracks for Tommy Foster. Louisville in trap 4 was doing the same for John Mullins. They had no answer to the scintillating pace of Tim's Crow.
Racing strongly towards the line with 4 in second.
Well, 2003 was capped in a spectacular fashion as Tim's Crow was announced Greyhound of the Year at the William Hill BGRB Awards do. Here we can see delighted connections hearing the news. And collecting the trophy on the night of nights for greyhound racing in Great Britain. But what would 2004 hold for this great dog? Nothing more to prove really over the sprint trips. This dog was stepped up even further in distance, over 450 metres in the Pall Mall. Let's see how he gets on in the semi-final.
Off we go, and racing up towards the first bend and 6. Tim's Crow out fast here, showing great pace up from Persian Isle in 3. After he's improving on 5, that's Knock Even Fury as they head down the far side then. And in front it's Tim's Crow by a good 5, maybe 6 lengths now from Persian Isle, taken on by Knock Even Fury. After these comes 1, Lucrative Game. They come around the third bend. Lucrative Game was chopped off there by Persian Isle, but it doesn't matter because Tim's Crow is well clear from the field, up towards the winning line. Tim's Crow wins easily from Persian Isle. Lucrative Game qualifying in 3rd.
Well, he seems to have taken up where he left off, doesn't he? He's odds-on favourite for yet another prestigious race.
£8,000 up for grabs as well, of course. 450 metres. They're off and racing towards the first bend. Good break from 5 Blonde Chimes. Better pace from Tim's Crow. And Tim's Crow goes around that first bend in front from Blonde Chimes. After these comes Brighton Rock. So head down the far side and look at Tim's Crow go. Greyhound of the Year of 2003 is stamping his authority on this race. He's 5 lengths clear from 5 Blonde Chimes in second. Then comes Brighton Rock. They come round the final bend and it's Tim's Crow out on his own up a superlative performance from Tim's Crow, winning from Brighton Rock, who just got up to be second ahead of Blonde Chimes. Boy, that dog's got pace up to the bend.
He just absolutely blasted them, didn't he, really? He didn't even trap in front. Persian Isle trapped in front of him. If anything, he trapped third or fourth. But it's that brute pace to the first bend. Remember, this is a greyhound who was beaten on his debut in A6, and then really after that, he's never looked back. A6 to A1, he helped Peter Rich and Paul Rich and Barbara, Peter's wife, to a record year for them in 2003, 93 open race wins. And this greyhound was the flag bearer, along with, of course, the Laurels champion, Knock Even Magic. Quite worthy Greyhound of the Year. They said that a greyhound, or some said that perhaps a Greyhound of the Year shouldn't be a sprinter. I don't think this is a performance of a very, very fast four-bend greyhound. I think all roads really should lead to the Derby with him, because I just think he can blow them away. That dash to the first bend, he will relish.
Well, after a big debate between the owner and the trainer, it was decided that the dog should take his chance in the £100,000 William Hill Derby at Wimbledon. He didn't let him down. Here we see him lining up in the semi-final of the greatest race of them all.
Late decision to enter the Derby, absolutely vindicated. One of the sporting decisions of the year to enter Tim's Crow. Greyhound of the Year, Sprinter of the Year, of course, but he's now a fully fledged four-bend greyhound.
Crowd on tender hooks, hair on motion then for the William Hill Greyhound Derby, first semi-final. They're off and racing up towards the first bend, and best away was two. Special Trick bumped into Fire Height down. Here comes Tim's Crow, and Tim's Crow shows the pace up from Fire Height down, who moves off slightly. Three, Greenside Wonder lying in third. Escalido holding up Ring Crucigal. After these comes two. Special Trick, they go down the far side. It's Tim's Crow, leads the way here by 2 lengths from Fire Height down in second. After these comes three, Greenside Wonder not getting a run. They come off the final bend. Ring Crucigal's finishing, but it's Tim's Crow leading from one. Fire Height down. It's Tim's Crow who wins. Trap 5, Ring Crucigal qualified in second place, and back in third was Fire Height Dan. But Tim's Crow, the sprint champion of last year, the Greyhound of last year, has made all here in the first semi-final of the Greyhound Derby.
A world-class performance by Tim's Crow, beating Rhine Crucigal and Fire Height Dan in the semi-finals, delighting his owner John Williams, who felt that his decision to enter a derby was now fully vindicated.
I think he deserved his chance after the way he ran in the Pall Mall, when he was staying on stronger each time. And he's a dog that likes his racing, so the more runs he gets, the better he gets.
2 runs from trap 6 he's had, he's pinged out both times. You might have 6 again, I suppose, in the final.
No, he ain't pinged out yet.
Oh, you're holding something back then, yeah?
We're not holding nothing back. If the dog comes away like he can come away at least a length quicker at the box.
Here's the 6, Tim's Crow, Greyhound of the Year for 2003. Everyone said that he didn't have the stamina to win the Derby. Well, he's confounded everyone so far. Can he carry on confounding people, David?
Yes, he can, Jeff. If he gets loose around the outside, he will be the dog they all have to catch. An incredibly quick-up greyhound. He's gone from sprinting, he went to 450 for the Pall Mall, he stepped up to 480, and barring a couple of blotches in the middle rounds, he was very, very impressive in the semi-finals. He is certainly going to be the one they have to beat. If he gets loose, he could be the danger.
The war's up. 30 seconds. We'll know who wins the very first £100,000 William Hill Greyhound Derby final. The trap's open, we're off and running, and 3, Droopy Skull's got a good start, but here comes Tim's Crow. Tim's Crow leads round the first bend ahead of Fire Height Dan. Droopy Skull's on his shoulder. After these comes Big Freeze. They head down the far side, and still Tim's Crow leads them. Leads by 2.5 lengths from Droopy Skulls. The main challenger now, but forced to check. After these comes Big Freeze staying on. They come round the final bend. It's Tim's Crow and Droopy Skulls. Big Freeze is finishing strongly, but it's Droopy Skulls to go on and score. It's one for Ireland and Ian Riley.
Well, Tim's Crow ran his heart out and was only beaten just over a length by one of the strongest fields in Derby history at Wimbledon. And look at the way he pulverised those top-class opponents into the first bend. Well, now his racing career's over. He's available to you at stud, and it's very rare to get a dog of this calibre with Irish bloodline so solid as you see there. Pure Irish bred with no Australian influence. Tim's Crow, now available to you at stud with Michael Daly in County Laois.